All right. Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for being here. I know that folks are filtering in as I'm talking. I will put everything I'm saying into the chat as well. This part is really important. Our experts, our panelists here to talk about their institutions, they cannot see or hear you. So if you have a question at all, please use the Q&A button at the bottom or top of your screen. The sooner the better that you can get it in there so that they can get an answer to you. Please pay attention to the chat as well. They will be throwing in their contact information in there. A recording of this will be available at the beginning of next week at strivescan.com/Brooklyn Tech. I will put that in the chat as well. With that, we are going to get it kicked off with Bard College.
Okay, thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here. My name is Kate Hardy. I'm Senior Associate Director of Admission at Bard. I use she, hers pronouns, and I'm also a Bard alumna, class of 2007. I studied literature with a concentration in gender studies as a Bard student, but then ultimately went on to get my master's in social work, and this is my 15th year doing admissions work. I work pretty exclusively with students applying from the 5 boroughs of New York City, and I live in Woodside, Queens, so if you hear an ice cream truck or a fire truck or a 2-year-old, that's just the reality of New York City living in a pandemic still, although we're getting to be on the other side of it. So I'm excited for that time ahead. Please do stay in touch with me. We have a very, very short amount of time together this evening, so I really welcome you to keep in touch if you have any questions beyond what I share this evening. I chose this photo really intentionally as my cover photo because I think it actually says a lot about Bard. There are a lot of favorite things about this photo, and it's not just the socks, which I think are themselves a really wonderful representation of the fact that Bard students are expressive and individualistic and inclusive, and Bard is a really incredibly diverse and inclusive place in a lot of ways, and that's a big part of the ethos of the institution. But I like to think of the backdrop, which is a really classical building. It's an 18th century mansion called Manor House, which is one of 3 manor houses on our campus. This one has a really long, interesting history that I won't get into, but it's currently used as a residence hall, and there's a really important common space and cafe downstairs that students use for events and gatherings. But I like to think of that as representing like the classical structure of the liberal arts, the quintessential multidisciplinary learning that happens across STEM and the social sciences and language and literature and the arts. And I like to think of the foreground, which is actually a big large-scale sculpture called Stargon, as representing the sort of boundary pushing contemporary original thought that happens alongside the classical liberal arts structure. And I think it also represents the presence of the arts within our campus culture, our academics and our community. So Bard is this really wonderful and dynamic balance. This is all 1,000 acres of Annandale and Hudson. Bard is located in New York's mid-Hudson River Valley, about 2 hours north of New York City, right on the Hudson River. That's the body of water at the top, and pretty close to the Amtrak train line. We're about 15 minutes away from the Cliff train station. So it's just an Amtrak train ride away from Penn Station. You can also drive from the city. It's about 2 hours either way. There's nothing in Annandale except for Bard. So we have this really wonderful, vibrant residential campus culture that is also able to draw on the resources of New York City without the city taking away from the opportunity to have a really quintessential residential campus experience, not too far away from home. The land that we're on also has a really complex history that I think we try to be really mindful of. Again, we're the fusion of 3 different Hudson River Valley estates, and like all beautiful, fertile land in this country, it was colonized. And there's evidence of that everywhere. And that's a history that we really try to lean into and be mindful of as well. I myself actually learned about Bard through an archaeology field school when I was a junior in high school that was exploring the history of slavery and servitude in the Hudson Valley specifically, which is a part of history that doesn't often get talked about. And at Bard, we really lean into the difficult conversations and the interpersonal relationships that drive them. It's a really participatory environment at Bard, average class size of 14 students. Faculty teach at Bard because they want to collaborate with and mentor their students. Every student participates in one-to-one learning through their senior project. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but it's really highly participatory. Students, it's very hard to remain anonymous. It's very hard to fall through the cracks. And again, Faculty really see their students as forces to be reckoned with and as budding professionals in their fields. And all of those faculty are full-time tenure degreed faculty. We don't have teaching assistants. We don't have lecture halls. So it's a really participatory environment. 180 student-run organizations. All of our student funding is allocated to our student government and is allocated for students by students. So the campus culture is really student-driven as well. We are also not a gated community. I think that's a really important thing to understand about Bard as a liberal arts college, is that social justice is not just a hashtag at Bard. We really do the work. Some of that is done through students in our TLS program, which pays students to run their own community-based organizations. That's how the Bard Prison Initiative started. I'm not going to say much about it, but you can watch everything about the Bard Prison Initiative in a documentary that was executive produced by Ken Burns called College Behind Bars. It is streaming for free on PBS Learning Media. It's also on Netflix and Amazon Prime. We also have an international network of campuses. One micro campus in New York City, and lots of wonderful opportunities for study abroad as a result. And we have an early college network. So you might know about the Bard High School early colleges here in New York City. And that's a big important part of what we do and how we engage in public high school education. So sharing our resources locally, regionally, and globally. We have a really distinctive core curriculum. So we launch all Bard students into their experience with a program called Language and Thinking that helps students acclimate to what it feels like to learn in a non-standardized environment. You will never see a Scantron sheet. You will never see an exam. You learn by creating original work and by writing and reading and discussing and doing original research. And then again, every student does a senior project that is meant to be a professional caliber contribution to your field. The most important thing about applying is that we have been test optional, earnestly test optional since 1969. We don't plan on changing that anytime soon. And it's completely free to apply. There's no application fee. We give a lot of really wonderful need-based financial aid. It's about creating equity in Annandale, as well as across the network. And it works. We teach students how to market themselves, and 96% of our graduates are employed 6 months after graduating. So the liberal arts are just as marketable as many other opportunities out there. And that's where I leave you. Thanks so much for having me. Take good care. Stay in touch.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Rutgers University. There you are.
Hello. Let me share my screen. Thank you very much. I'm Teresa Mahoney, the New York Regional rep for Rutgers, and I live on Long Island. I'm sorry. You know, I have to be honest, I'm not feeling well today. I had my second shot. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Rutgers University, that's my contact information, by the way. New Brunswick, it's the flagship state university of New Jersey, and we're known all over the world as a premier research university. We are number 22 public university in the country, 41 in the world, and of course, number 1 in New Jersey. We're rooted in history, founded in 1766, back in the colonial days before the Revolutionary War. It's the birthplace of college football back in 1869. And we're proudly in the Big Ten Athletic Conference with 24 Division I teams. You may have seen that our men's and women's basketball team made it into March Madness, and it was a very exciting time. So here's New Jersey, and you can see that New Brunswick by the big R is between Manhattan and Philadelphia. We're in the heart of New Jersey, a hub of 75 corporate headquarters like Johnson & Johnson, and hospitals like Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in St. Peter's. So there's many opportunities for internships, jobs, entertainment. And there's a train station that goes through campus that will take you into the city in under an hour, which gives you independence so that you can easily get home, take public transportation home so your parents don't have to always come into New Jersey. We do have a big overall campus, but it's divided into 5 neighborhood campuses. Each has its own residence hall, dining hall, gym, library, classrooms, and at least 11 research centers and institutions and bus stops. You can see the map. We have the red 5 campuses. It's an interesting variety of environments too, like at the top with the Bush campus and Livingston campus, that's more suburban where the big football stadium is, and the RAC where the basketball teams play, an Olympic-sized pool, engineering, pharmacy is there, the business school. And then in the middle is the College Avenue campus, and that's more of the city vibe with restaurants and theaters, museums and shops. That's where the college originated, so there's some historical buildings there too. And the blue Raritan River runs through it. And then you can see at the bottom is the Cook and Douglas campus. It's more rural there with a vegetable garden, providing farm to table produce, livestock farms where students raise and studies pigs, cows, sheep. You can come and pet the horses. And the Mason Gross School of Performing Arts is there, the Institute for Women's Leadership, and the Douglas Residential College for Women is down there. Rutgers is a big and exciting university with 36,000 undergrads, 16,000 live on campus. And we are the most diverse of the Big 10 colleges. We do welcome students from all walks of life with varied beliefs. We valued everyone's different perspectives. And we enjoy over 600 clubs, 80 fraternities and sororities. We have the largest Jewish student population of any public university. And there's special interest communities and housings that are available to apply for. And hopefully when we get back to a new normal, we'll be able to have study abroad, where we went to over 150 different places. Here are 7 schools that you can apply to with their own academic profile. You can apply to up to 3. We have our Rutgers application. We don't have, we're not on the Common App. And it's kind of good because if you apply to the School of Engineering, but you don't get into it, but you applied to the School of Arts and Sciences, the first one, that's like the liberal arts school, you can get your grades up, and after your freshman year, you can apply to get into the School of Engineering. So you have 3 ways to get in, 3 schools to be accepted into Rutgers. Our classes are pretty small considering the size of Rutgers, with a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio. About 60% of classes have less than 30 students, over 175 research centers, and freshmen can start right away working on a research project with a group or just with a professor. We have an excellent career center that assists with internships and jobs, and with an 84 placement rate within 6 months of graduating. And here's the big football stadium where everyone wears their red gear, and that's our Scarlet Knight mascot. That football stadium is the closest Division I football stadium to New York, so it's very exciting. Again, we have our Rutgers or Coalition application, not on the Common App, and we are test optional this year. And if you submit your application by December 1st, you will be considered for merit scholarships. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you feel free to contact me.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Long Island University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tatiana Marshall. I'm one of the undergraduate admissions counselors here at Long Island University, the Brooklyn campus. Thank
Is
you.
there
so
a way
much.
to turn up your volume just a little bit? It's hard to hear you.
Absolutely. No, let me know, because these headphones give me trouble all the time. Anything sounding better? sounding better?
Yes, now it does. Yeah.
Aha, see, let me readjust them. So thank you so much for having me today, guys. So just a little bit about Long Island University itself. We have three campuses, which is the Brooklyn, the Post, and the Global campus. So for Brooklyn, we're about 11 acres self-contained in downtown Brooklyn. We are the home to one of the Brooklyn's only school of pharmacy, which is over 125 years old. And we're about one stop away from the city. For our LIU Post campus located in Long Island, you are on the estate of the Post Cereal Company. So we have a very big cereal vibe there, and we have criminal justice, our doctorate of veterinary medicine. We also have an equestrian center, and also our football stadium is here. But it is an amazing campus and more of a suburban field. All right. Then you have LIU Global. This is one of my favorite programs. It offers a BA of Global Studies where you study abroad for all 4 years, and your first year is in Costa Rica. So some students who follow this path usually want to work with like UNICEF, the United Nations, the government, different things like that. So this is an amazing, amazing program for you, especially if you're interested in international business. Now, we have a 12-to-1 student teacher faculty ratio. We do promote small class sizes so that you have that individualized attention. And you'll see that trend here tonight. It is very important. It is extremely beneficial to make sure your teachers know who you are. Okay, we have over 260 areas of study, but I just want to mention a few because of time. Okay. We have the Rock Nation School of Music, Sports, and Entertainment. Our first inaugural class is coming in for fall 2021, founded by Mr. Jay-Z himself with LIU. The next level of music artists and executives and sports managers are coming out of this school. If that is something that interests you, please check out our website. We are very known for our School of Health Professions and Nursing. You can actually see our students here working on one of our sim dolls. Um, Genuinely an amazing major and path. So this is also something that could be offered to you here along with liberal arts and sciences. You have pharmacy, as I was stating, over 125 years old, 6-year program, expedited to get your doctorate in pharmacy or PharmD. You have your Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, also a dual degree coming in where you're getting 6 years, and we have animals on campus that we take care of. So our students in this veterinarian program are definitely helping us maintain all of our horses and all of the beautiful animals that are on the post campus. Something that I'm genuinely excited about is artificial intelligence. There's a lot of robotics coming to campus in the medical and also in business. So if that's something that interests you, please note that we do have the bachelor's and the master's. So one thing that's very important about LIU, we make a promise to you that a student will have a customized plan, one-on-one communication, and different type of assets to make sure they're successful here. You have over 70 clubs and organizations, and we also have honor societies that are Greek lettered as well that is displayed. So you have an amazing opportunity to join students who have like-minded views or different views and talk about them. So one of the biggest things, we are Division 1 in the athletics. So we have just gained that wonderful status. So we will be competing all over, and we're so excited to join everyone. Please note that LIU is rolling admissions. We are not test optional at this time. I forgot to mention that, so sorry. But we will work with every student in every student case. You can apply on Common App or on our website. And that's everything. Any further information needed, just shoot me an email. I'll put my information in the chat.
All right. Thank you very much. We have Marymount Manhattan. Oh, I'm not sure I can hear you if you were talking.
Can we skip me?
Oh, yep. No, I can hear you now. You're good.
Oh, you can hear me now? Okay, great. My name is Taz. I'm one of the admissions counselors here. I'm not in charge of Brooklyn, but I will definitely put Emma's information in the chat as I finish the presentation. So just some quick facts about Marymount. That image that you see there, of course, that is Manhattan. That top blue marker is where our academic campus is located. So that is the only place you'll be going for your classes, no matter what it is you're studying, whether you're a fine and performing arts student or you're a liberal arts student. The other two buildings are our residence halls. The closest one is about a 15-minute walk away. The other one is about a 20-minute train ride away, straight shot, very easy to get to campus. We do have about 1,900 undergraduate total. So we are also a small school, 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We have about 32 majors that you could choose from. As we go throughout this presentation, you will get a chance to view them all. And the statistics that you see at the bottom, those are just our averages. So if you're looking at them and you feel that your grades are not up to par, I still highly recommend that you apply, just because we take advantage of, we look at everything on your application, your recommendation letter, your essay, how active you were in and out of school. While we do understand that this is COVID, we will be taking everything into consideration just to learn who you are as a person. I'm happy to say that we are test optional for fall 22, so definitely keep that in mind when you are applying to colleges. And if you happen to meet these averages or surpass these averages, then beautiful. We can definitely talk about scholarships, which we will further on in the presentation. So this is just a quick snapshot of our student profile. Many people think we are just an in-state city school, when in actuality we are not. As you can see, we have a lot of out-of-state students. I personally also recruit in Pennsylvania in the DMV area. We have students coming from almost all 49 states. So that just helps our student body diversity in that sense. So we do have commuter, and then we also have out-of-state individuals as well. So these are a list of all of our majors. We recently added a BFA in film and media and a BFA in creative writing. So we are very happy to add that to this list. It's not here now, but it will be next time. What I really like to talk about our majors is that it's very, very easy for our students to graduate with multiple majors on their degree. And that is because we have something called double dipping. You can take one course and it could satisfy a requirement for two separate majors. And we have it like this, so you can definitely figure out what it is you're interested in. At this moment, you think you may want psychology, you do psychology, and then you realize, I don't want to do psychology. So because of that, that course that you probably took as a psych major could probably qualify for another major. So we try to just encourage you to put your hands in different pots, see what you like, while not losing time and figuring out exactly what it is you want to do. So I highly encourage you to see what it is you want to do at Marymount Manhattan. And then of course, that is just a breakdown on the right-hand side. You're very welcome to view this later or just take a snapshot of this slide. Our career services, what I really like to talk about our career services is that we have something called the CDH program. The CDH program really takes you out of the classroom and puts you into the practicality of things. We really like to take full advantage of the fact that we are in New York City. So for instance, if you're in class learning the theory about this is how you do a business proposal, we'll actually try to place you in an actual business to build your professional experience, build your network, build your resume, which all can help you when that time comes for you to graduate and have something lined up for work. We also have a boutique that provides professional clothing. So, we're making you look good on paper, but it's time for you to go in and ace that interview. You got to also dress professionally. So we do assist with that as well, whether it's a blouse or a blazer, maybe some pants, whatever it is, we will try to assist our students. But of course, with our CDH program, you can do mentorship, internship, and shadowing. And what I like about our internship is that whenever you get an internship, if you are not paid for that internship, we will pay you. We don't like the idea of free labor, so definitely keep that in mind. In some shape or form, you will be getting some type of monetary compensation. So we do have a number of organizations for you to choose from. There's a list at the bottom. It's probably very small, but definitely check out the full information on our website. We have something called Apple Fest in the fall and Strawberry Fest in the spring. It's a great time for all of our organizations to just come out, set up a table, and to integrate our first year students into the Marymount Manhattan community. It is literally a whole block party. Organizations come out, it's good for part-time job opportunities, and it's just great overall to have a good time. So these are requirements. We are on Common App. We also do have our own application. So the choice is yours, whichever you want to submit. We are going to need an essay, no more than 3 letters of recommendation. It's a lot of reading. And we are going to need your high school transcript. And then, like I said, we are test optional. So if you are satisfied with your test scores and you want to submit them, you're very welcome to. If you are not, that's fine. It is not needed. And then, of course, a $60 application fee. I highly encourage you contact us. I will put Emma's information in the chat and our general information at the end of the slide. just so you could reach out to us. Say, hey, I want to apply. What's the fee waiver code? Because we will try to give you that fee waiver code and try to save $60. This is our average cost to attend. If you decide to live on campus with us, it is about $56,000 for the year. However, if you do want to commute, stay home, get your own apartment, then you will get about $37,000 a year. That is our FAFSA school code. Definitely, you can find it on our website. Keep that in mind when you are applying. And scholarship opportunities. When you apply, your high school transcript at the time of application is how we consider your merit-based scholarship, so you are automatically considered. If you're interested in fine and performing arts, definitely submit your application. Come out, give me nothing but confidence when it's time for you to audition. Give me your best self, break both legs, figuratively speaking, just so you can get the highest competitive award possible. You can qualify for both merit-based and competitive-based scholarships. And then, of course, see what else is out there. There are a number of external scholarships out there that foundations are just sitting on money to just give out. So definitely see what's out there. And then, of course, this is our general information, our general email and hotline. And we are on TikTok and multiple different other social media platforms. So yeah, let's keep in touch with us and see what's going on at Marymount.
All right, thank you so much. Next up, we have Pace University.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Mummy, and I am the Associate Director of Admissions on PACE's New York City campus. So today we're going to talk a little bit about both campuses for PACE. If I can make my screen move ahead. Hold on one second. So PACE University is a private university located in New York with 2 campuses. So our one campus is located in Manhattan, right downtown by the Brooklyn Bridge. This campus is the larger of our 2 campuses. We have about 6,000 undergraduate students. Just like everything else in New York, we are definitely a non-traditional institution. So we are a very vertical campus. Unlike traditional schools where you're going to be moving from building to building, at PACE, you're likely to be moving between floors to get between your classes. However, even though we're located in the city, we do have a very campus-y vibe because all of our buildings are located within a 5-block radius from our main building. So if you are living on campus, if you are in one of the residence halls, everything is totally walkable for you, and it will take you maybe 10 minutes max to walk from the furthest point to our main building. Housing is guaranteed for all 4 years, but not required. So if you are looking for a change and looking to live on campus, you may. But if you would like to commute, you can also do that as well. Most of our majors are available on both of our campuses, but one of the programs that is New York City specific is our School of Performing Arts. On the flip side, we do have the traditional college experience on our Westchester campus. So Westchester is about 45 minutes outside of the city, and our PACE Westchester campus is a 200-acre campus with 2,600 undergraduate students. Up here, we do also have guaranteed housing for all 4 years between 5 different residence halls. And we do also have Division II athletics. So if you are looking to play a varsity sport while you're in college, Westchester would be your main base campus. A major that is specifically on our Westchester campus is the nursing program. What's great about our dual campus locations is that we do have a shuttle that runs back and forth a few times a day. So if you are looking to be a Westchester student, but go into the city to take a class, or even just to go home and visit your family and you want to get that ride into the city to not pay for Metro North, you can take advantage of our shuttle system. But also with our Westchester campus, we're in Pleasantville, so the Metro North system is right there available to you as well. Something unique about both of our PACE campuses is the PACE Path. So we really want to make sure that while you are at PACE, you are taking advantage of everything that we have to offer so that at the end of your 4 years, you are career ready. You can go on, get that job, whether it's a job based on an internship that you previously had or just a job that you're qualified for because of all of your experience. So the PACE Path is really a plan that you'll make with your advisor, really your first day on campus, and you'll make sure that you are following that, taking advantage of clubs, activities, getting connected with mentors. Internships are big, so really just making the most of your college experience. On the academic side at PACE, we have over 150 different programs. So with that, there's over 100 different undergraduate majors. We have combined degrees, which means you would get your bachelor's and go right into a master's level program. We have separate graduate degrees. We have so many different things that you can do, split between 6 different sub-schools. So our College of Health Professions has everything from health science to nursing, Dyson College of Arts and Sciences, biology, performing arts, psychology, economics, all of those programs. We have a law school at the graduate level in White Plains. So if you are interested in law school, there's a 3+3 program. Our School of Business has accounting, marketing, management, so on. School of Ed is early childhood, and adolescent education. And then our Seidenberg School of Computer Science and Information Systems, Computer Science, Information Systems, and Information Technology as well. In the classroom, average class size is 20 students. Student to faculty ratio is 16:1. And at PACE, when you apply, with the exception of performing arts and nursing, just because there's a few other requirements, you have the ability to move between programs. So say you apply undecided and then you decide this time next year, if you're a senior next year, that you really want psychology, we can move you into that program either before you start at PACE or once you get here when you work with your advisor. So you do have that flexibility to switch, double major, major and a minor, major and 2 minors, whatever that may be. With career services, so we have one of the largest internship programs in the city. Last year, our students completed over 7,000 different internships. So career services works with you really every step of the way. So they will connect with you really to go over everything. So resume prep, interview prep, what to say, what to wear. We have career and internship fairs on our campuses all the time, including 4 really big ones throughout the academic year. So fall and spring on each campus. There's also an online database called Handshake that you have access to where you're able to apply for internships, but also companies can review your resume and reach out to you if they think you'd be a good fit. But with our connections, Viacom is one of the top employers for students, both at the internship level as well as the career level post-graduation. Our students are interning with the Today Show, with IBM, with Microsoft, with Google, with the big 4 accounting firms, so many more. So definitely a great place to go and get those connections. On the financial aid side and scholarship side, so obviously now more than ever, scholarships and financial aid are important things to think about. So at PACE, when you apply, you'll be automatically considered for a scholarship. If you're admitted, you'll get that scholarship right when you receive your decision letter. Separately, you're able to apply for need-based aid using the FAFSA, and 95% of our first-year students do receive some type of need-based aid. On our website, we are really working to put so many resources out there for our students. So on the website, there are videos walking you through how to submit your FAFSA, which will come in handy not only for PACE, but just for every school that you're applying for, just so you know how to submit that FAFSA and fill that out accurately. With your financial aid package, if you submit your FAFSA early, you could receive your financial aid letter with all your financial aid information really in the beginning of January. So definitely work to get that stuff in to us so that we can give you all of the information and you have a lot of time to make a decision that makes the most sense for you. With the application, so here's what we need for your application. We are on the Common App. We do also have a PACE application. We need your essay, letters of recommendation, transcript, and we were test optional before the pandemic, and we will be test optional moving forward. So definitely move on your application, and you can see the different deadlines from this past year here. So we have early decision, early action, regular decision, a performing arts deadline that's a hard deadline of December 15th, and a nursing deadline of February 15th. This is my information. If you do have any other questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to help and walk you through this process. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have New York Institute of Technology.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Eustache, and I am one of the assistant directors here at New York Tech. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So if you don't know, New York Tech consists of 2 different campuses. We have a campus right in the heart of New York City in Manhattan, Columbus Circle, and we also have a campus out on Long Island. The biggest difference between both campuses is that we have our medical school out on Long Island, which houses our nursing program, PT, PA, and our largest program of osteopathic medicine, which is a 7-year combined degree. Between both campuses, we have about 3,700 undergraduate students, which leaves for a pretty medium to small class size and about an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Within that classroom, though, you're going to get a pretty wide and large dynamic of different types of students from all different types of backgrounds. We've been voted in the top 3 in the past couple of years by US News, with representing 90 different countries and 40 different states. Within that, our big accomplishment is that we are rated number 7, highest mobility amongst private master's programs. Within our school is broken down by 6 different schools, and within those schools, 90 different programs. I won't go through every one, but I will speak about a few new ones that we've just implemented. We have our new applied and computational mathematics, our construction engineering program, exercise science, and a physics program. We're also tremendously excited to release our newest PhD, which is a PhD in computer science, which means you can start here doing your undergrad and end up earning your PhD in computer science. We also have a few combined degrees. As I mentioned earlier, I mentioned some of the medical ones. Most of them are at least 5.5 years, steaming all the way to 7 years. But one of my favorites is the psychology undergrad and school counseling masters. It's a 5.5-year program, and it's tremendous because within both of those industries, you'll continuously be going to school and earning a different type of education. We also have some accelerated masters in different areas. In the School of Engineering, we have the opportunity for students to do a 4+1, which will complete your undergraduate degree and come back and finish off your master's in a year, and sometimes maybe a few additional courses. Now, unfortunately, because our courses are so focused and so rigorous, we don't allow students to double major, but students do have the opportunity to minor and sometimes add some additional minors to their schedule. In the case that a student is taking an example like a math-based major, they normally tag on a mathematics minor automatically. And in that case, their schedule is free enough for them to tack on an additional 1 or 2 minors, which is tremendous. And of course, we have some really state-of-the-art facilities split between both campuses. Our 3D motion capture lab is housed on the Long Island campus. And when we have facilities, we like to make sure that they're utilized throughout the entire school. Right now, our physical therapy department is utilizing our motion capture lab to do some research. Also, we have the Hive, the Home of Innovation, Visualization, Exploration, that is housed in the Manhattan campus. We also have some really cool cybersecurity labs and a simulated trading room on the Manhattan campus. Of course, some of the student services that we provide really go a long way in assisting our students achieving their overall goals. First off, we have counseling and wellness, who are there confidentially to help students both within the classroom when they face struggles and also outside of the classroom in their personal lives. We have a great team of financial experts with financial aid, bursar, and registrar, but most importantly, Career Services does a great job of assisting students with preparations to market yourself the best, give you insight on how to achieve the overall goal of getting a job. They do assistance with writing resumes, cover letters. They even do mock interviews where you record an interview and sit down with another counselor to go over some of the things that you didn't do so well and highlight some of the things that you did tremendously. And as a result, 94% of our graduates are working within their respective fields within 6 months of graduation. And that is a true accomplishment. You see some of the major brands that students are working for here, which is to me a great sign of us heading in the right direction. And about 77% of the students that do some type of internship, about 80%, 81% of our students do enter into some kind of internship. About 77% of them are getting a job opportunity or an offer from the company that they did their internship. And of course, the financials. Right now, our tuition is on a freeze, which means it won't change for the next few semesters. It's about $40,000, but don't let that number intimidate you. We do offer a large amount of scholarships, and our students do pretty well with financial aid. Right now, our scholarships are merit-based, and they range from $18,000 to $30,000. Of course, the application process, pretty generic. We require a transcript. If you had the opportunity to take the SAT or ACT, do send it in. We are test optional for the moment. We require your at least one letter of recommendation and your personal statement. We do have a few different events that you can join us for. We have virtual one-on-ones with a few different departments. We also have on-campus tours that have opened up. So definitely reach out to us and get those pressing questions answered. And this is our contact information, so feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys reach out and join us for some events.
All right, thank you. If I could have all the panelists turn their cameras on in the same order that you presented in, could you tell me what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
My advice would be to keep an open mind and not get too stuck in the rankings. The colleges that you've heard of are not necessarily the colleges that are going to be right for you, and it's certainly not all the colleges that exist. So get to know all of us. There are thousands of colleges out there, and really take your time with this process. It's a really exciting opportunity to find a place that's really going to be transformational for you. So don't get too caught up in the madness.
I think we always used to say visit campus, but now with the pandemic, that's made it difficult. So I think now you can easily go on virtual campus tours, check out all of the different colleges' websites, like Rutgers has explorerutgers.com. So they have a recording of the tour, and then they have a live student talking about it, and then you can even chat and ask questions as you're watching it. But it's the next best thing, I think, of seeing what the environment is like, what the culture is like of the different colleges. So take some time and tool around on their websites. And I think, most colleges have really kind of upped their game on their websites, making it more attainable for everyone to understand and just to help with their college search. So good luck.
Hi, everybody. One of my biggest tips is to do research. Do research about your majors, do research about your colleges, do research about where you want to be. And as I said before in our past presentations, we completely understand that you are going to change your mind. I do not expect anyone in your age range to know specifically what they want to do. So please understand we are here to help you. Ask us 20,000 questions about that major so you can reassure yourself that that's going to be your path. So my biggest tip, do research.
And then to add on to her answer, also do research on external scholarships. I said this briefly in my presentation. There are a number of foundational organizations sitting on money, and they give out money for the simplest things. You're left-handed, you're curly hair, you're first generation student. It's so simple, but students aren't applying because they aren't aware. So see what's out there, apply to everything you can apply for, and then also check back with the institution you want to apply to. See if they will take all of them, maybe some of them. So more research in that sense combined.
Since I'm last here, I'm going to echo some of the things that were said already. Research is very important. Finding the right fit is very important. Scholarships, huge, huge, huge. But my biggest advice is it's never too early to start. Start as early as possible. You're giving yourself ample time to do research and narrow things down. Do research on yourself as well, not just the schools or the majors. Do research on what interests you have. Almost anything you choose now will help you be successful, just as long as you prepare it properly and do the right research and go to the right school for it. So finding the right fit for you depends on what fits you best, what type of major will fit you best, what type of environment will fit you best. Sign up for as many meetings as possible. We're all available virtually now, so take advantage of that. If you can visit the school to see if the environment, the area is a good fit for you and you can travel there comfortably. But number one thing is doing your research and knowing what exactly to ask and how to ask it. So definitely reach out to us. We're here to help as best as we can.
And just to add my piece of advice, so just look at the websites for schools. I can't speak for everybody here, but at PACE, we have an application dashboard. So once you're in that application process, you can see the status of your application. You can see if it's incomplete. You can see the contact information for your counselor. And then once you're admitted, it opens up a whole other door of other resources. So we are here to answer your questions, but if you don't want to ask and you don't want to email, you can just look it up yourself, and then you can just kind of know exactly where you're at every stage of the way.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties on my end too. My chat's just repeating itself. So what I was going to put in the chat was what was supposed to go in there earlier. Thank you for joining us so much. Thank you to our experts, to our panelists here. My last plug for them is please contact them. This is what they do. They want to find out if you are a right fit for their institution. When you leave here, there is a 4-question survey. You can sign up for more sessions. In the chat, it's more of the beginning part, but there's still that link in there that you will be able to get a recording of everything that was put in the chat, which is the important stuff. It's their contact information. And of course, the video and audio for this. So best of luck to the students and parents out there. And thank you again to our panelists for tirelessly working to make sure that they can find the right fit for the students. And stay safe, stay well, and have a good evening.